I'm in charge.
The bombs are on their way or something.
When Reagan was shot, he went to the.
O'clock, Mayor.
Okay. I'll call the special meeting of the Newport Beach City Council to order. Roll call, please.
The record will reflect that all members of council are present.
Okay, Madam Clerk, public comments.
The city provides the yellow sign-in card to assist in the preparation of the minutes. The completion of the card is not required in order to address the city council. If the optional sign-in card has been completed, it should be placed in the box provided at the podium. The City Council of Newport Beach welcomes and encourages community participation. Public comments are invited on items listed on the agenda on the agenda and non-agenda items. Speakers must limit comments to 3 minutes per person to allow everyone to speak. Written comments are encouraged as well. The City Council has the discretion to extend or shorten the time limit on agenda or non-agenda items.
Okay, any public comments?
Mayor Selich and members of the council, my name is Jim Mosier. I see from the agenda that you will be meeting in closed doors to discuss litigation. From what little I can glean from the agenda, the first item, you're going to be hearing pitches from the city staff to spend public money on 3 matters which are not indicated in the agenda. Having no idea what those matters are, I can't intelligently comment on them, but I would like to remind the new council members that a literal reading of the Brown Act provision under which you are holding the closed session allows you to meet in closed session to discuss aspects of litigation, but for if and only if an open discussion of those matters would prejudice the city's position. And I would just like to submit, without knowing what these are about, that in many cases, rather than prejudicing the city's position, it would be to the advantage of the people whose money you're about to spend if we had an open public discussion of whether you should engage the city in litigation, what it's about, and why you're wanting to do that. Otherwise, you're just hearing a one-sided discussion as far as I know. The second item is about Woody's Wharf, and you may recall I spoke to you about this on February 10th, shortly after the appeals court decision was released. I was surprised on March 10th, your last meeting, when a majority of you voted to appeal the appeal to the California Supreme Court. And I saw the resulting petition was filed on March 11th, the following day, which by my count was 1 day beyond the 40-day limitation in the Supreme Court's policy for when you have to make an appeal. Nonetheless, I see from their website that they have assigned a Supreme Court case number to it, so I was a little surprised to see that number not stated in the agenda, and I would like to applaud the 3 members of the City Council who voted not to appeal it, because in my opinion, it's an utter and complete waste of money. The point I tried to make, but perhaps I was cut short on time back on February 10th, is if in your closed session the city staff tells you, I have no idea what the number is, say they tell you it's $10,000 to appeal the case to the Supreme Court, the odds of the Supreme Court actually hearing the case are extremely remote, and finding in this something to the city's advantage even more remote. Say that the odds are 1 in 50 of having the case heard, you're effectively committing $500,000 of the public's money, because not only is that $10,000 going down the rat hole, but another 49 after that before anything beneficial happens. And in this case, the issue is no longer about Woody's Wharf, but it's about the legal issue of whether there's any circumstances in which a city council person can sit on an appeal they initiated. And there's a much easier, much lower cost, much more effective way, which would be simply enact a policy that if a planning commissioner or a council member participates in an appeal, they will not sit on that appeal. That would make the city a leader in due process rather than a defender of poor policy. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other public comments, we'll go to closed session. Mr. Harp, do you have an announcement?
Yes, the City Council will adjourn to closed session to discuss the initiation of litigation in regards to 3 matters as well as the case of Woody's Group Inc. versus Newport Beach. And Mr. Mosher raised a question of whether the petition was timely filed or not. It was appropriately filed, and we were not aware of the case number at the point when we put the agenda out, but we'll add that to the next closed session if there is one.
Okay, adjourn to closed session.